that in an age of wealth, luxury, and endless entertainment, so many people are still unhappy. We scroll, we consume, we achieve, but the emptiness remains. Think about it. If pleasure was happiness, why are the richest among us depressed? If success was happiness, why do celebrities end their lives in despair? If love was happiness, why do so many broken hearts hide behind perfect smiles? The truth is painful. Most of us don't even know what happiness really means. And over 2,000 years ago, one man uncovered the secret. His name was Aristotle, and what he discovered could change the way you live forever. This is the story of true happiness, not the kind you buy, not the kind you fake, but the kind you become. Believing it will set us free. We chase pleasure, thinking it will make us feel alive. We chase recognition, hoping it will finally prove our worth. But at night, when the noise fades and the lights go out, a question whispers in the silence. Is this all there is? We scroll through endless feeds, chasing distraction after distraction. We buy new clothes, new cars, new devices, yet the joy fades the moment the package is open. We climb the ladder of success only to realize it leans against the wrong wall. This is the happiness trap. Society tells you, earn more, buy more, show more. But deep inside, your soul knows the truth. Pleasure is not happiness. Aristotle saw this over 2,000 years ago. He looked at kings and conquerors, at merchants and soldiers, at poets and lovers. He saw the same hunger in their eyes that we see today, an endless reaching, grasping, craving. And he asked, what is the good life? What does it truly mean to be happy? He realized that most people confuse pleasure with happiness. Pleasure is a spark. It burns bright, then vanishes. Happiness is a fire. It must be built, nurtured, and sustained. Think of a man who wins the lottery. For a moment, his world explodes with joy. But studies show within a year he feels no happier than before. Why? Because money filled his pockets, but not his soul. Think of the celebrity adored by millions, drowning in fame and attention, yet secretly addicted, depressed, lost. Why? Because applause feeds the ego, not the spirit. Think of the man who spends his nights chasing desire, thinking pleasure will cure his emptiness. But every morning he wakes more hollow than before. Aristotle's voice cuts through time. Happiness does not lie in wealth. It does not lie in honor. It does not lie in pleasure. These are shadows of happiness, not the real thing. The trap is simple. The more we chase happiness in the wrong places, the more it escapes us. Like trying to catch water with bare hands. The tighter we grip, the faster it slips away. Aristotle teaches us to step back, to see beyond the illusion. He warns us, if you believe happiness is found in possessions, you will never be free. If you believe it is found in honor, you will live as a slave to the opinions of others. If you believe it is found in pleasure, you will live as a prisoner of your desires. But then he whispers a challenge. There is another way, a higher way, a path where happiness is not fleeting but lasting. This is the secret of eudaimonia, the life of true flourishing, a happiness not of the body, but of the soul. And once you understand it, your life will never be the same again. A word so powerful, so misunderstood, that even today people struggle to grasp its meaning. That word is eudaimonia, translated weakly as happiness, but it means far more than happiness as we know it. Eudaimonia is not pleasure. It is not a temporary feeling. It is not a moment of laughter, or a rush of joy, or a passing thrill. Eudaimonia means to flourish, to live in alignment with your highest nature, to rise into the fullness of what a human being can become. Aristotle looked at life and asked, what is the purpose of man? What is the ultimate end we all seek? The answer was simple. Every action, every choice, every pursuit is aimed at one thing: the desire to live well, the desire to be fulfilled, the desire to reach eudaimonia. But here's the paradox. Most of us chase the shadow, not the substance. We chase pleasure, moments of comfort, of indulgence. But pleasure fades. It leaves us hungrier than before. We chase wealth, thinking if we own more, we will be more. But wealth is a tool, not a destination. It can buy comfort, but not meaning. We chase honor and recognition, living as slaves to reputation, endlessly performing for others. But applause dies the moment the crowd turns away. Aristotle called these things incomplete lives. They feel like happiness, but they cannot sustain it. Only one life can: the life of virtue, the life of excellence, the life of eudaimonia. Think about it. When have you felt truly alive? Not the shallow high of a party or the quick thrill of buying something new, but that deep, grounding sense of, this is what I was meant to do. For some, it's the moment they create. For others, the moment they help. For others still, the moment they overcome. That is not pleasure. That is not luck. That is eudaimonia, life in harmony with your best self. Aristotle says, happiness is not a state of mind. It is an activity of the soul in accordance with virtue. Notice his words: not a feeling, not a possession, not a prize, but an activity of the soul, a way of living, a constant practice. You cannot buy eudaimonia. You cannot fake it. You cannot stumble into it. You must live it. Picture a seed. If it remains in the soil, unwatered, undeveloped, it rots. But if it grows, if it rises, if it becomes what it was always meant to be, a tree reaching the sky, then it flourishes. That is the meaning of your life: to grow into your true nature, to rise into excellence, to flourish. That is happiness. Not the shallow smile of a moment, but the deep joy of a life lived well. Aristotle's challenge is clear. If you wish to be happy, do not chase pleasure. Do not chase wealth. Do not chase the applause of others. Chase excellence. Chase growth. Chase the fullness of who you are meant to become. For in that pursuit, you will find eudaimonia. And once you taste it, no other form of happiness will ever satisfy you again. Something simple, yet unsettling. Not all lives are equal. Not all pursuits lead to true happiness. He divides life into three great paths. The first is the life of pleasure. The second is the life of honor. The third is the life of virtue. And by looking at these three, you will see yourself. Because whether you know it or not, you are living one of them right now. This is the life most people choose. It is the pursuit of comfort, of desire, of enjoyment. Food, drink, sex, wealth, leisure. The pleasure seeker says, this is happiness. To enjoy as much as I can, for as long as I can. And yes, there is sweetness in it. A meal shared with friends, a night of laughter, the warm glow of satisfaction. But pleasure is fleeting. It fades the moment it arrives. The plate is empty. The laughter ends. The glow turns cold. And then once again, you are hungry. Once again, you are restless. Once again, you are searching for the next thrill. Aristotle does not condemn pleasure. He says it has its place. But he warns, if you build your life upon it, your happiness will always be fragile. Because pleasure is a shadow, not a foundation. Others seek something different. Not comfort, but recognition. Not pleasure, but pride. The man of honor says, I will achieve greatness. I will be respected. My name will live on. This is the life of reputation, of chasing glory, of measuring worth through the eyes of others. There is dignity in this life, to act with courage, to win respect through noble deeds. But Aristotle points out its fatal flaw. Honor depends on others. And if your happiness is placed in the hands of other people, it can be taken from you in an instant. A single betrayal, a single failure, a single shift in the crowd's opinion, and your honor crumbles. What is left of you when the applause is gone? What is left of you when the world forgets your name? And then Aristotle offers the third life, the rarest, the highest, the life of virtue. This life is not about fleeting pleasure. It is not about fragile reputation. It is about becoming excellent. It is about living in accordance with reason, with courage, with justice, with wisdom. It is about shaping your soul into harmony with truth. Unlike pleasure, it does not fade when the night ends. Unlike honor, it does not vanish when others turn away. The life of virtue is complete in itself. It is anchored. It is unshakable. Because no one can take away the excellence you have become. No one can rob you of the soul you have forged. No one can destroy the character you have built. Aristotle says this is the only life that leads to true happiness, not the happiness of a passing smile, but the deep, unshakable fulfillment of a soul that is risen into its purpose. So ask yourself now, which life are you living? The life of pleasure, endlessly hungry, endlessly chasing. The life of honor, restless, always depending on the approval of others? Or the life of virtue, quiet, steady, powerful, unshakable? Because in the end, you do not choose happiness directly. You choose the life you live. And the life you live creates the happiness you find. Is one of his greatest secrets. A secret so simple yet so powerful, it can transform every choice you make. He calls it the golden mean. What does it mean? It means that true virtue, true excellence, lies in balance. Not in excess, not in deficiency, but in the perfect center between the two. Look at courage. Too little courage is cowardice. Too much courage is recklessness. But the balance, the mean, is true courage. Look at generosity. Too little generosity is selfishness. Too much generosity is waste. But the balance, the mean, is true generosity. Look at ambition. Too little ambition is laziness. Too much ambition is greed. But the balance, the mean, is noble striving. Do you see the pattern? Every virtue lives between two vices. Every excellence is the art of balance. Think of our world today. We live in extremes. We worship indulgence and then chase discipline. We glorify wealth and then despise it. We push ourselves to the edge and then collapse in exhaustion. We live as though happiness comes from being all in, from going further, faster, harder. But Aristotle whispers, excess is as dangerous as deficiency. Both lead you away from virtue. Both lead you away from true happiness. The golden mean is not mediocrity. It is not choosing the middle in weakness. It is the strength of choosing the right measure at the right time for the right reason. This requires wisdom. It requires discipline. It requires you to know yourself, your impulses, your weaknesses. The golden mean is harmony. It is the soul in balance. It is a life where nothing controls you, neither fear, nor desire, nor ego, nor pride. This is why Aristotle says, happiness does not come from living at the extremes. It comes from mastering the balance. So ask yourself, where in your life are you living in extremes? Where are you too timid, too afraid, too small? Where are you too reckless, too indulgent, too excessive? And can you find the balance, the golden mean, that transforms vice into virtue? Because Aristotle's secret is this: happiness is not found in choosing more or less. It is found in choosing right. Something that shocks many. Happiness is not an accident. It is not luck. It is not a gift. Happiness is the result of habits. Aristotle says, We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Think about this. A single action does not make you virtuous. A single kind deed does not make you generous. A single brave moment does not make you courageous. It is only when you repeat those actions over and over that they shape who you are. Habits build character. Character builds destiny. Every morning you wake up, you are laying bricks. Bricks of action, bricks of choice, bricks of discipline, or of neglect. One brick may seem small, but over time, the wall of your life is built. And when you step back, what do you see? A fortress of virtue or a prison of vice? This is why Aristotle insists happiness is not a mood. It is a construction project. It is the building of the soul, one habit at a time. Look at your daily habits today. How many are making you stronger? How many are making you weaker? The food you eat, the words you speak, the time you waste, the thoughts you allow. Each habit is a seed. It grows in silence, unseen. But one day it becomes the tree that shades or poisons your entire life. So what must we do? We must train our souls the way an athlete trains his body, through repetition, through practice, through deliberate action. You do not become virtuous by accident. You become virtuous by training. You do not become wise by wishing. You become wise by practicing wisdom. This is why Aristotle connects ethics with discipline, because habits are the invisible chains that bind you, or the invisible wings that set you free. You are not the slave of fate. You are the architect of your habits, and through them, you are the author of your destiny. So ask yourself, what habits am I repeating today, and where will they carry me tomorrow? Because Aristotle's truth is simple. Change your habits, and you change your life. The truth that pierces deeper than philosophy, a truth about the heart, a truth about why even the strongest, the wisest, and the richest among us cannot live alone. He says, without friends, no one would choose to live, even if they had all other goods. You can have wealth, you can have power, you can have knowledge, but if you walk through life alone, your soul starves. Why? Because happiness is not only about what you do for yourself, it is also about what you share with others. Aristotle teaches that true friendship is not based on pleasure, not based on utility, not based on convenience. True friendship is built on virtue. It is when two souls walk together in pursuit of the good. Aristotle divides friendship into three forms. Firstly, friendship of utility. You benefit from each other. Business partners, allies, temporary. Secondly, friendship of pleasure. You enjoy each other's company. Laughter, entertainment, delight, fleeting. Thirdly, friendship of virtue, the rarest and highest, built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared love of goodness, eternal. The first two fade with time, but the third, it lasts because it is not built on what you get, but on what you give. Aristotle says that a true friend is like a mirror. Through them, you see yourself more clearly. Through them, you are reminded of what you strive to be. And so, friendship is not a luxury, it is a necessity for the good life. But Aristotle goes further. He whispers something we all feel, but often ignore. Humans are not designed for isolation. We are creatures of community, of family, of love. To love and to be loved is not weakness, it is strength. Because love pulls us beyond selfishness. It forces us to care for another soul as if it were our own. And in that act, we rise higher than ourselves. We touch something eternal. But look around at our time. We are more connected than ever, and yet more alone. Our friendships are often shallow. Our loves often fleeting. Our connections, digital, not spiritual. Aristotle warns us, this is not the path to happiness. Because happiness is not clicks and likes. It is shared virtue, shared striving, shared life. So ask yourself, who are the souls walking beside me? Do they lift me up or drag me down? Do they share in my pursuit of the good, or do they distract me from it? Because Aristotle's wisdom is clear, happiness is not built alone. It is built together with true friends, with true love, with true bonds. He has shown us balance. He has shown us virtue. He has shown us friendship. But now he reveals the highest form of happiness. It is not wealth. It is not pleasure. It is not honor. It is contemplation. Aristotle says, the deepest joy comes when the soul rises above the noise of life and touches truth itself. This is contemplation, not distraction, not shallow thought, but the deep gaze into reality, into wisdom, into the eternal. Why is this the highest happiness? Because every other pursuit depends on the world, on chance, on fortune, on people. But contemplation is free. It belongs to you, and no one can take it away. Think of moments when you were lost in wonder, looking at the stars, hearing a profound idea, feeling the mystery of existence itself. In those moments, you were not chasing money, you were not chasing status, you were touching eternity. Aristotle calls this the purest form of happiness because it is the activity of the highest part of you, your reason, your mind, your soul. But today, we are drowning in noise. Every moment filled with screens, alerts, endless chatter. We rarely stop. We rarely think. We rarely allow our souls the silence to see. And yet, this is what Aristotle begs of us: to pause, to contemplate, to return to the life of the mind. Because the happiest life is not the busiest, it is the most thoughtful. Aristotle does not reject the earlier lessons. Virtue, balance, friendship, they all matter. But contemplation is the crown. It is the summit of the mountain, the final step where the soul tastes eternity. So ask yourself, when was the last time I allowed myself to think deeply, to seek wisdom not for gain, but for truth, to lift my mind above the chaos and simply see? Because Aristotle's final secret is this: happiness is not only in what you do, it is in what you understand. And when the soul contemplates truth, it tastes the kind of joy that never fades. Aristotle, through the corridors of the soul, we have seen his vision of happiness. And now it is time to gather the threads into one radiant truth. Aristotle has shown us that happiness is not pleasure, not wealth, not fame, but the fulfillment of the soul. That virtue is the key, living with courage, wisdom, justice, and balance. That habits shape our destiny, turning actions into character. That friendship and love are not luxuries, but necessities of the good life. That the golden mean teaches us to master balance, avoiding the traps of excess and deficiency. And finally, that contemplation, the life of the mind, is the crown of human existence. So what is Aristotle's secret to happiness? It is this: happiness is not given, it is built, brick by brick, choice by choice, habit by habit. It is not outside you. It is not waiting in wealth or power or others' approval. It is within you, in your virtues, your friendships, your thoughts, your balance. Aristotle whispers across time, the good life is the life of activity in accordance with virtue in a complete life. This is the true eudaimonia, the flourishing of the soul. So what will you do with this wisdom? Will you chase pleasure and find it vanish? Will you chase wealth and find it empty? Will you chase fame and find it hollow? Or will you turn inward? Will you shape your habits, seek true friendships, practice virtue, and give your soul the silence to contemplate truth? Because if you do, you will not just live, you will flourish. You will not just exist, you will thrive, and you will know a happiness that no fortune, no fame, no power can ever steal away. And so, across centuries, Aristotle speaks to you now, a philosopher from ancient Greece reaching into your heart. Happiness depends upon ourselves. The rest of the world may change. Fortune may rise and fall, but the secret to happiness is already within you.